You paid $50 to check that second suitcase. You will pay another $40 in taxi surcharges because it does not fit in a standard European cab. And when you reach the port in Barcelona or Civitavecchia, you will drag both bags across cobblestone streets up a narrow steel gangway with 30 people waiting behind you who packed smarter. 2 weeks, 14 nights of dining, shore days in 5 countries, and 1 formal evening. Everything fits in a single bag that slides into an overhead bin. No checked luggage fees, no cobblestone rustling, no standing at a carousel in Rome wondering if your clothes made the same connection you did. Miami has wide terminals, flat walkways, and porters who wheel your bags straight to the cabin. European embarkation is nothing like that. In Southampton, you walk. In Venice, you climb steps over a canal bridge with no ramp. In Barcelona, the terminal shuttle drops you 200 yards from the ship, and there is no one offering to carry a thing. Half the guests I checked in on Mediterranean itineraries had taken a train that morning from another city, rustling bags up and down platform stairs through turnstiles built for commuters, not tourists hauling a week of formal wear. I watched it from the desk every single turnaround day. A couple would reach the front of the boarding queue flushed, shoulder sore, already snippy with each other. The vacation was supposed to start 3 hours ago, and instead they had been fighting luggage through a transit system that does not care how much they packed. That frustration sat in their shoulders for the rest of the sailing. I saw it at dinner, at the excursion desk, at guest services, when small inconveniences became large complaints. The trip never quite recovered. A single carry-on changes the whole first chapter of the voyage. Arms free. Moving at your own pace through whatever the port throws at you. No claim belt. No lost bag anxiety on a tight connection through Heathrow. You board light, and the vacation starts the moment you step aboard. Tell me in the comments, what is the one item you refuse to leave behind, no matter how small the bag gets? I am Carol Brennan, and the guests who moved through embarkation the fastest always had one bag. Not the smallest bag, not the most expensive bag. One bag where everything inside worked together. That is the system. Not a list of clever tricks, not a gadget you buy online. It is a color palette first approach to selecting what goes in that bag, where every single piece you pack can pair with every other piece. 3 bottoms work with 5 tops. A layer works over all of them. A scarf changes the whole look at dinner without adding weight. The formal night question, the one that makes people reach for a garment bag or check a second suitcase, gets solved inside the same system. No separate evening wardrobe, no sequin dress folded in tissue paper taking up a third of your space. The pieces you already packed do the job because they were chosen to. Here is how it starts, and it starts with color. Every piece starts with a question. Does this work with everything else already in the bag? If the answer is no, it stays home. A neutral base makes that answer yes almost every time. 3 bottoms in black and tan. That is the visual foundation. Black trousers, a tan skirt, black cropped pants. Every top you own already matches all 3 without thinking about it. Now the tops. White, navy, soft gray. 5 of them, and each one pairs with any of those 3 bottoms. That is 15 distinct outfits from 8 pieces of clothing. They fold flat, they weigh almost nothing, and not one combination looks accidental. The magic, though, is what happens at dinner. I watched a woman on a 12-night Mediterranean sailing look like she had packed a full trunk. 3 nights in a row, I noticed her in the dining room and thought she had changed everything. She had not. Same black trousers, same white blouse. What changed was a single silk scarf tied differently each evening. One night draped across the shoulders, the next wrapped at the waist as a sash, the third knotted loosely at the collar. Different earrings, different scarf position, and the whole impression shifted completely. That is 1 piece of fabric and a pair of small earrings doing the work of 3 separate outfits. It weighs 2 ounces and takes up less room than a rolled pair of socks. The pallet is not about being boring. It is about being deliberate. When everything matches everything, you stop packing for specific days and start packing a system. And a system is what makes 5 tops, 4 bottoms, and 1 good scarf carry you through 2 full weeks without repeating a single look. Now those pieces need to get into the bag. 5 tops, 4 bottoms, 3 layers, 2 shoes, 1 extra item. That is the entire count for a 2-week European cruise, and nothing gets added beyond it. The tops and bottoms you already chose from that neutral palette, 5 and 4, 15 combinations without thinking. But the numbers that actually matter for a cruise are 3, 2, and 1. 3 layers. Ship air conditioning runs cold. I spent years watching women leave the dining room with their arms crossed, shivering in a sleeveless blouse because nobody warned them the interior runs 15 degrees cooler than the pool deck. And Mediterranean evenings drop fast once the sun sets. A light cardigan, a structured blazer, a thin merino wrap. Each one goes over any of those 5 tops. Each one changes the silhouette enough that the outfit reads differently at dinner than it did at lunch. 2 shoes. 1 comfortable walking shoe for cobblestones and port days. 1 dressy or flat for evening dining. That is it. No heels. I watched women wobble on teak decks for 26 years. Teak is slippery when polished. The ship moves, and a heel turns an elegant entrance into a grab for the railing. A ballet flat or a structured loafer does everything a heel promises without the risk, and it packs in half the space. 1 extra item. This is where the system earns its keep on a European itinerary. A packable rain jacket that folds into its own pocket, or a large wrap that doubles as a formal night layer. Rain finds you in ports like Dubrovnik and Amsterdam without warning, and that same wrap draped over a simple black dress is all the formality the captain's dinner requires. Count it on one hand. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 15 pieces total, every one of them already coordinated because the pallet did that work first. The question now is how those 15 pieces actually fit into a single carry-on without crushing each other flat. Take a blouse and lay it flat on the bed. Fold the sleeves in, then roll from the bottom hem up, tight as you can, like you are rolling a sleeping bag for a child. That tight cylinder holds its shape, takes up less room than a folded square, and when you unroll it at the other end, there are no hard creases pressed into the fabric. Every piece gets the same treatment. Trousers rolled from the waistband down. That cardigan rolled around a tissue layer if the fabric is delicate. Tight, smooth, no air trapped inside. Now those rolls need a home. Packing cubes, the simple mesh-topped kind you can find for about $15 a set. Turn a carry-on from a pile into a filing cabinet. 1 medium cube holds all 5 tops, rolled side by side like cylinders in a drawer. A second cube takes the 4 bottoms and 3 layers. 1 slim cube, the narrow kind about the size of a paperback book, holds undergarments and that silk scarf. Unzip the bag and you see 3 neat rectangles. Pull a cube, find the piece, slide it back. Nothing shifts in transit because everything is compressed in its own compartment. Nothing wrinkles because nothing is folded over itself with a hard crease bearing weight. The satisfaction is real. A bag that opens clean and stays clean for 14 days, where your hand goes straight to what you need without unpacking a thing. Those 15 pieces are in the bag, but a few of them never needed to be there at all. Every cruise ship cabin has a dispenser mounted to the shower wall. Shampoo, conditioner, body wash. I restocked those dispensers myself for years, and they are not the watered-down mystery liquid people imagine from a budget hotel. They are decent mid-range products, the kind you would find in a department store for $8 or $9 a bottle. You do not need to pack a single one of them, and you certainly do not need to sacrifice 3 ounces of your liquids bag to a travel-size conditioner you will never finish. Hair dryers stay home too. Every cabin has one built into the vanity area or tucked in a drawer. Beach towels stay home. The pool deck has stacks of them, fresh every morning, returned damp every evening, and nobody is tracking whether you took one to port. That is their job, not yours. And irons. People ask me about irons. You cannot bring one. They are prohibited in cabins on every major line because of fire risk. The ship has a pressing service or a self-service launderette with a built-in press if you need something smoothed flat. The rolling method handles most wrinkles before they start anyway. Add it up. A full-size hairdryer, 2 or 3 bottles of product, a beach towel you thought you might want, an iron you were never going to be allowed to plug in. That is easily 2 to 3 pounds lifted out of your bag, and 3 or 4 inches of depth you now have for the things that actually matter. The ship already solved these problems for you. Let it. Now the real question is how often those 15 pieces actually need washing over 14 days. Here is the thing nobody on a cruise ship is tracking. Not the couple at the next table, not the waiter, not the woman in the elevator. Nobody is keeping a mental inventory of what you wore on Tuesday. I stood behind that guest services desk for 26 years. I saw the same 1,200 passengers every single sailing, at breakfast, at dinner, in the atrium, on the pool deck. And in all that time, across all those thousands of guests, I never once heard a person comment on someone else wearing the same top twice. Not once. The anxiety is real, but the thing it is afraid of does not actually happen. Wearing a piece 3 or 4 times across a 2-week sailing is not cutting corners. It is standard practice for anyone traveling with one bag, and it is completely invisible when you rotate combinations instead of rotating individual pieces. That navy blouse paired with black trousers on Monday looks nothing like the same navy blouse tucked into a tan skirt on Thursday with a scarf at the collar. The eye reads the silhouette, not the fabric. Merino wool makes the rotation even easier. A merino top can go 3 or 4 wears without holding odor the way cotton or synthetic blends do. And when it finally needs freshening, a hand wash in the cabin sink and a few hours draped over the shower rod brings it back completely. By morning, it is dry and ready for another round. The trick is not owning more clothes. It is styling fewer clothes differently each time they appear. Swap the layer, change the neckline with a scarf, roll the sleeves one night, leave them down the next. The outfit changes even when the pieces do not. And that frees you from the problem that fills second suitcases in the first place. For a voyage of 10 days or longer, one laundry session somewhere in the middle is what makes the entire single bag system work. It is not a chore. It is the hinge point that lets 15 pieces cover 14 nights without strain. Most ships give you options. Some have a self-service launderette tucked away on an upper deck where you can run a small load for a few dollars in quarters. Others offer a send-out service where you fill a bag in the morning and it comes back folded by evening. And for merino or quick-dry fabrics, the cabin sink and a night on the shower rod handle everything without spending a cent. The timing matters more than the method. Sea days are laundry days. The ship is not in port. You are not missing a single cobblestone street or cathedral. You are floating between destinations with nothing on the schedule but rest and a load of darks. Hang items near the balcony door cracked an inch, and the moving air pulls moisture out faster than any cabin heating vent will. One wash mid-trip, and suddenly every piece resets to 0. The second week feels like a fresh suitcase without a single new item added that covers the clothes. But there are a few small essentials that need their own plan entirely. 2 small pouches handle everything that matters most. One for medications, one for bandages and basic first aid supplies. A zip-top pouch the size of a deck of cards holds prescription bottles, pain relievers, motion sickness tablets. A second one, even smaller, carries adhesive bandages, antiseptic wipes, a small roll of medical tape. Both fit TSA guidelines without a second thought. These go in the personal item, the bag under the seat in front of you, not the carry-on in the overhead bin. If you need a prescription at 30,000 feet, You do not want to be standing in the aisle pulling down luggage while the drink cart blocks your return. Reachable means at your feet. Everything important stays where your hand can find it without asking permission. So here is what you are taking away from today. Start with the neutral palette, blacks and tans and grays, so every piece pairs with every other piece without planning. Use the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 count to set your limits. Roll everything tight and file it into packing cubes so the bag opens clean every time. Leave the toiletries and the hairdryer at home because the ship already has them waiting. Wear each piece 3 or 4 times, restyle it with a scarf or a different layer, and do one mid-trip wash on a sea day to reset the whole system. 2 small pouches in your personal item keep medications and first aid within reach at all times. Next time, I will walk you through what to do in your first hour aboard once that single bag is stowed. Until then, I am Carol, and I will see you on the next one. Pack the system, trust the palette, move light, less luggage, more life.